Ever wondered how small changes in your way of thinking can completely transform your life? Imagine if, with a simple adjustment in the way you see the world, you could turn every obstacle into a ladder for your personal growth and every challenge into a door to unexplored opportunities. It's precisely this transformative power that we'll explore today. Are you ready to question what you know and embark on a journey that can not only change your worldview, but also how you live every moment of it? Then let's unravel together the 8 powerful lessons to have a strong mind, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. This isn't just a video, it's the first step towards a new perspective on life. Lesson 1. Mastering your perspective. Mastering one's perspective is undoubtedly one of the most powerful skills we can develop in our personal journey. Have you ever stopped to think about the magnitude of influence your way of seeing the world has on your life? The way we interpret our experiences determines not only how we feel about them, but also how we react and, consequently, the course our life takes. Now, I ask you, how many times have you faced a challenging situation and felt like all was lost? And how many of those times did you realize, after some time, that that situation was actually a disguised opportunity for growth or learning? That's the power of perspective. It has the ability to transform obstacles into steps, failures into lessons. But how can we start mastering our perspective? First, recognize that your worldview isn't immutable. It's shaped by a series of factors, including your experiences, beliefs, and values. This means you have the power to change it. How? By questioning it. Whenever you find yourself facing a negative or limiting thought, ask yourself, is this really true? Is there another way to see this situation? For example, if you encounter a setback at work and your initial reaction is to think, I'll never advance in my career, challenge that thought. Ask yourself, can this situation offer me insights into what I need to improve? Are there other paths or opportunities that I haven't considered? Embracing a posture of constant learning in life is another crucial aspect. See each experience, good or bad, as a chance to learn something new about yourself, others, or the world. This not only enriches your journey, but also expands your perspective, making it more flexible and open. Moreover, surrounding yourself with people who see the world differently can be extremely enriching. This diversity of viewpoints can challenge your own perceptions and encourage you to see things in new lights. After all, it's at the intersection of different perspectives that we often find our deepest truths. Finally, remember to practice gratitude. Being thankful for what we have shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant in our lives. This simple shift in focus has the power to transform our worldview, making it more positive and expansive. So in what ways can you start mastering your perspectives today? What steps can you take to turn your worldview into a source of strength and inspiration? Remember, perspective is like a lens through which we view life. And by adjusting that lens, you have the power to change not only how you see the world, but also how you live in it. Incorporate these reflections into your routine, and you'll discover that mastering your perspective isn't just about facing the world more positively. It's about creating a reality that resonates with who you are and who you aspire to be. Lesson 2. Be guided by reason. Being guided by reason is like navigating with a beacon that illuminates life's paths with clarity and precision. This approach, centered on logic and reflection, provides a solid foundation for making thoughtful decisions and acting coherently and effectively. But how exactly can we cultivate and strengthen our ability to be guided by reason in a world often dominated by emotions and impulses? First and foremost, it's crucial to recognize the value of emotion and intuition, as they are essential components of the human experience. However, when faced with important decisions, reason must take the lead, providing an objective analysis that allows us to evaluate all options and consequences in a balanced manner. So how can we develop this skill? Start by cultivating a space for reflection in your daily life. This can be as simple as dedicating moments of tranquility to ponder your choices and actions, free from distractions or external pressures. This space allows you to connect with your deepest thoughts and consider different perspectives before making a decision. Furthermore, enhancing critical thinking is crucial. This involves questioning assumptions, analyzing arguments objectively, and seeking evidence to support your conclusions. You can strengthen your critical thinking through reading, debating with others who have different viewpoints, and exposing yourself to new ideas and knowledge. Another effective strategy is setting clear goals and defining action plans based on logical reasoning. By doing so, you create a roadmap for success guided by concrete objectives and practical steps, rather than being driven by momentary impulses or volatile emotions. Additionally, practicing patience is an invaluable virtue for those who wish to be guided by reason. In a world that values immediate gratification, learning to wait, ponder, and act at the right time can make all the difference. Patience allows you to assess the situation more clearly and make more informed choices. Lastly, cultivate intellectual humility. Acknowledge that you don't know everything and be open to learning from others' experiences and knowledge. True wisdom lies in the ability to change your mind in the face of new evidence and to constantly grow, expanding your understanding of the world. Now I ask you, how can you apply these principles in your life? Which areas can benefit from a more rational approach? As you ponder these questions, remember that being guided by reason doesn't mean suppressing your emotions, but rather learning to harmonize heart and mind so that each decision reflects the best of both worlds. Lesson 3. Practice detachment. Detachment, that noble art of letting go. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But anyone who has tried knows there's a profound challenge in this practice. Detachment isn't just about material things. It's also about letting go of our expectations, prejudices, and even, in some cases, people who don't positively contribute to our growth. But why should we cultivate this practice? How can it benefit us? Living in a way that practices detachment is embracing freedom. It's recognizing that many of the chains that bind us are forged by ourselves, with the links of our own expectations, fears, and attachments. When we detach, we're not losing something, we're freeing ourselves to experience life more fully and authentically. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you weren't tied to expectations of how things should be. If you could face each moment as it is, not as you wished it to be. Doesn't that sound incredibly liberating? That's exactly the freedom detachment offers. Now you might be thinking, okay, that sounds wonderful in theory, but how can I practice detachment in real life? Start with the simple. Look around at the things you've accumulated. Each object you possess carries an energy, a story. Ask yourself, does this bring me joy? Is it useful? If not, perhaps it's time to let go. But don't stop there. Detachment also extends to our relationships and emotions. Are you holding on to grudges? Clinging to relationships that don't make you happy? Allow yourself to let go. This doesn't mean abandoning people or feelings recklessly, but rather understanding that sometimes the greatest act of love can be letting someone or something go. And most importantly, practice detachment regarding the future. How many of us don't live anxiously, worried about what's to come, trying to control every aspect of our lives? Learn to trust the journey. Life has its own flow, and often it takes us to places we never imagined, but that are perfect for us. The practice of detachment is essentially an act of faith, Faith in yourself, in your ability to face life as it comes. Faith in the universe, that everything that happens is for our greater good, even if we can't see it at the moment. So I challenge you. Why not choose one thing to detach from today? It could be an object, an emotion, an expectation. Notice how you feel when you let go. You may be surprised by the weight that lifts off your shoulders. Practicing detachment is a continuous journey, a choice we make every day. It's not easy, but the rewards are immense. More peace, more freedom, more joy. So let's take this step together towards a lighter and freer life. Lesson 4. Humility and empathy. Humility and empathy are two of the noblest pillars upon which we can build our lives and relationships. These virtues, when practiced together, have the power to transform not only the individual, but also the communities around them. But what makes these qualities so essential and transformative? Let's start with humility. Humility is the acknowledgement of our own limitations and flaws, an acceptance of our shared humanity. It teaches us that no matter how vast our knowledge or how impressive our achievements, there is always room to learn more. Always aspects of ourselves and the world around us that we can explore and understand better. Humility opens us up to new perspectives and experiences, allowing us to grow and evolve in ways we never imagined. Now, empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, to put oneself in the other's shoes. It goes beyond mere sympathy. It's a bridge that connects hearts and minds, enabling a profound understanding of the other. When we are empathetic, we see beyond our own experiences and recognize the pain, joy, challenges, and victories of others as if they were our own. Together, humility and empathy are powerful forces. Imagine for a moment a community where these virtues are practiced by all. It would be a place where people listen to each other with genuine openness, where conflicts are resolved with mutual understanding, where each person is valued for their unique contribution, and where collective growth and well-being are prioritized. But how can we cultivate these qualities in our own lives? Start by practicing active listening. When someone is speaking to you, give that person your full attention. Listen not just to respond, but to truly understand. This demonstrates both humility and empathy, as you acknowledge the value of the other's perspective and strive to comprehend it. Another valuable practice is reflection. Take time to reflect on your daily interactions. Ask yourself, did I approach this situation with humility? Did I truly try to understand the other person's point of view? This constant self-assessment can help identify areas for growth and learning. Additionally, look for opportunities to put yourself in the other's shoes, especially in situations of disagreement or conflict. Try to understand the other person's motivations and feelings, even if you don't agree with them. This exercise in empathy can pave the way for more harmonious and compassionate solutions. Lastly, remember that practicing humility and empathy also includes being kind to yourself. Acknowledge your own mistakes and limitations, forgive yourself, and learn from them. This strengthens your ability to be humble and empathetic towards others. Lesson 5. Turn challenges into opportunities. Turning challenges into opportunities is an art and a science that empowers us to face life in a completely new way. Have you ever stopped to think that within every challenge lies a seed for growth and transformation? It's this perspective that can change everything. But how can we effectively make this transformation? How can we look at the obstacles in our path and see them not as insurmountable barriers, but as steps toward a better version of ourselves? First, it's essential to adopt a growth mindset. This means believing that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. When we approach challenges with this mindset, each obstacle becomes an opportunity to learn something new, to stretch beyond our comfort zones, and to cultivate resilience. But how do we put this into practice? Let's start with reflection. When faced with a challenge, instead of immediately reacting with frustration or despair, take a step back, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what is this challenge trying to teach me? This simple question can change your perspective, helping you see the situation in a different light. Next, it's time to adopt strategy. Every challenge, no matter how complex, can be broken down into smaller, more manageable parts. Identify which aspects of the situation are within your control and focus your energy and resources on them. Set small, achievable goals that move you in the direction of overcoming the challenge. Remember, progress is often incremental. Additionally, creativity is your ally. Often, challenges require innovative solutions. Allow yourself to think outside the box. Brainstorming, research, or simply taking time to deeply reflect on the problem can reveal paths and solutions you hadn't considered before. Collaboration is also key. Don't underestimate the power of seeking help from others. Whether through advice, new perspectives, or practical support, involving other people can be incredibly enriching and effective in overcoming challenges. Remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and wisdom. Finally, celebrate every victory, no matter how small. Each step toward overcoming a challenge is a success that should be recognized. These celebrations not only reinforce self-confidence, but also serve as reminders of your ability to face and overcome obstacles. So, I ask you, what challenge are you facing right now? How can you turn it into an opportunity for growth and learning? Remember, challenges are universal, but how we choose to face them defines our journey. By adopting a growth mindset, practicing reflection, strategy, creativity, collaboration, and celebrating each achievement, you are well equipped to turn any challenge into an opportunity. Let's embrace challenges as the gifts they truly are and allow them to propel us forward toward our greatest accomplishments and achievements. 6. Live in the present. Living in the present, this timeless maxim echoes through generations as a call to awaken to the richness of the present moment. But in practice, how can we truly inhabit the now, especially in a world marked by constant distractions and the cult of productivity? The key may lie in simple steps that reconnect us with the current moment, making each moment an opportunity for completeness. Firstly, let us acknowledge the beauty of mindfulness. This practice invites us to observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment, firmly anchoring us in the present moment. For example, try focusing entirely on your breath for a few minutes. Feel the air entering and leaving. Observe how your body moves with each inhalation and exhalation. This simple act can be surprisingly powerful, bringing an immediate sense of calm and focus. Furthermore, the art of living in the now lies in celebrating the small joys of everyday life. How often do we pass by beautiful moments without truly seeing them, lost in our minds, worried about the past, or anxious about the future? Take a pause to appreciate the taste of your breakfast, the sensation of the sun on your skin, the smile of a friend. These small experiences, when truly lived, can be deep sources of joy and contentment. Living in the present also means releasing the need for constant control over the future. While planning is important, fixating excessively on future outcomes can rob us of the beauty of the present. Practice letting go. Trust that by doing your best in the current moment, you're laying the groundwork for a bright future, allowing yourself to be open to the surprises and opportunities that life brings. Another fundamental aspect is cultivating gratitude. By focusing on what we have, on what is, rather than lamenting what is lacking or what could be, we open our hearts to the abundance of the now. Try starting or ending your day by listing 3 things you are grateful for. You will find that even on the most challenging days, there is always something to be thankful for. Finally, remember to slow down. In our race against time, we often forget to live. Take a walk without a destination, read a book unhurriedly, spend quality time with your loved ones. Allow yourself to fully live each activity without rushing to the next commitment. What is the present moment offering you? Is there beauty, learning, or opportunity that may be overlooked while your minds wander through the past or future? By bringing our attention back to the now, we not only enrich our lives with deeper and more meaningful experiences, but also find an endless source of peace and contentment. Living in the now is not about renouncing the past or the future, but rather recognizing that the only real life we have unfolds here, in this exact moment. 7. Inner tranquility, your fortress. Inner tranquility is a state of peace and serenity that resides in the deepest part of our being, independent of the storms that may rage around us. Achieving this state is undoubtedly one of life's most valuable pursuits. But how can we cultivate this tranquility in a world that often seems to spin at a frantic pace, full of challenges and uncertainties? First and foremost, it's important to recognize that inner tranquility does not mean the absence of problems or challenges. On the contrary, it's the ability to remain calm and centered even in the face of adversity. This begins with the understanding that while we cannot control everything that happens around us, we have the power to choose how we react to these situations. One of the keys to developing this tranquility is the practice of mindfulness or mindfulness meditation. It involves being fully present in the current moment, observing our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. This practice helps us recognize that our thoughts are just that, thoughts. They don't need to define our reality or our emotional state. Moreover, cultivating gratitude plays a fundamental role in the pursuit of inner tranquility. By focusing on the things we are grateful for, we shift our perspective on life. We begin to see the world and our circumstances through a lens of abundance rather than scarcity or lack. This feeling of gratitude connects us with inner peace, as it's difficult to feel restless or anxious when truly grateful. Another crucial aspect is learning to let go and practicing detachment. This doesn't mean we should abandon our dreams or stop caring about things, but rather recognizing that our inner peace should not depend on obtaining external objects or events unfolding in a certain way. When we learn to let go and trust the flow of life, we open up space for tranquility to dwell within us. Furthermore, establishing a self-care routine can strengthen our inner tranquility. This may include activities such as meditation, physical exercise, reading, or simply spending time in nature. These practices not only nourish our body and mind, but also remind us of the importance of treating ourselves with love and respect. Finally, it's essential to adopt a posture of kindness and compassion, both towards ourselves and others. Being kind to yourself means recognizing that you are human, allowing yourself to make mistakes, and treating yourself with the same care and understanding you would offer to a dear friend. Extending this kindness to others also connects us with inner tranquility, as when our hearts are filled with compassion, there is little room for agitation or restlessness. Therefore, I invite you to reflect. What does inner tranquility mean to you? What steps can you take today to move closer to this deep peace? Remember, the journey to inner tranquility is unique for each of us and requires patience, practice, and compassion. By committing to this quest, we not only transform our own lives, but also touch the lives of those around us with our newly discovered serenity. Let's embark on this journey together in search of inner peace. Lesson 8. Understand your surroundings more deeply. Gaining a deeper understanding of the world around us is a journey that enriches the soul, expands the mind, and connects us more meaningfully with life and those who share this planet with us. But how can we embark on this journey of discovery and understanding, especially in such a vast and complex world? The first step on this journey is to cultivate curiosity. Curiosity is the spark that ignites the desire to learn, explore, and understand. Allow yourself to ask questions, marvel at the wonders of the world, and seek answers. Remember, each answer found opens the door to new questions. Each discovery leads to more mysteries to be explored. Curiosity leads us down an endless path of learning and growth. Next, dedicate yourself to continuous education. We live in the information age, where knowledge is at our fingertips. Take advantage of the available resources: books, podcasts, documentaries, online courses, museums, and more. Each tool is a window to a new aspect of the world. But remember, the key is not just accumulating information, but integrating that knowledge, reflecting on it, and applying it to your life and understanding of the world. Furthermore, it is crucial to develop empathy and the ability to see the world through the eyes of others. This means actively listening without judgment, seeking to understand experiences and viewpoints different from your own. Empathy allows us to transcend our own limitations and biases, offering a richer and more diverse view of human reality. Another important aspect is learning to appreciate the diversity of the world. This includes not only cultural and human diversity, but also the richness of nature and life in all its forms. By valuing and respecting diversity, we open our hearts and minds to learning from differences and finding beauty in the variety of the world. Finally, engage with the world around you. Travel, if possible, to experience new cultures and environments. If traveling is not an option, explore your own community, volunteer, participate in cultural events, talk to people from different backgrounds and experiences. Each interaction is an opportunity to learn and grow. By adopting these practices, you not only gain a deeper understanding of the world, but also become a more active and conscious participant in it. This process of continuous learning and expanding consciousness is itself one of life's greatest adventures. So, I invite you to ask yourself, what arouses my curiosity about the world? How can I explore these questions more deeply? Remember, the journey to understanding the world is infinite, and every step we take reveals not only more about the universe around us, but also about ourselves. Together, we have embarked on an incredible journey through Stoic teachings to strengthen our minds and spirits. But this is just the beginning. In our next encounter, we will further challenge our limits by exploring how to control our destiny. Until then, question your perspectives and make room for profound transformations. What are you willing to change today to unlock a new dimension of yourself tomorrow?